So the other day we got a nice little bonus treat. We got the Pokemon Duels app from the Pokemon Company. Now you know your boy is hype about Pokemon. You know your boy loves them duels from Yu-Gi-Oh! So when you combine them both together, what you think I did? I got fully expanded for this new game. So today guys, in this video, I am going to give you a ton of information you can use in Pokemon Duels to actually be good. So let's go. Alright guys, so when I mentioned earlier that this game had a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh in it, I want you guys to think back on something that you may have not realized. Back in the day, there was a Yu-Gi-Oh game called Dungeon Dice Monsters, and the main concept of that game was to move your figurines, which were Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, across the board to attack your opponent's hard points directly. I mean, you could probably see Yu-Gi-Oh didn't really try hard in terms of mechanics, but that was pretty much the spin-off game. In this game, Pokemon Duels, you're essentially doing the same thing. The only difference is now that when your Pokemon gets to your opponent's goal, if you can land on the goal, it's automatic win. So no need to attack your opponent's heart points directly. Now, the awesome thing about the game that lends a lot of strategy and customization is that each figure has their own special ability, movements, traits, and powers, which I think is absolutely fantastic. The gameplay for this game is really fun. It's extremely strategic, like I mentioned before, and it's like playing chess with special abilities. That's what I've been telling all my friends when they ask me, what is Pokemon Duels like? It's like playing chess with special abilities. So if you enjoy playing any type of trading card game, any type of real-time strategy game, any kind of strategy-based gaming at all, even if you really like competitive tic-tac-toe, which is also similar to what this game is like, you should really give Pokemon Duels a try. So now that I've told you a little bit about the game overall, I want to get into the actual mechanics of this game. You know, if you want to really learn how to get started in fully detail and maybe someone teaches you how to play, you might want to watch another video, because it's not going to be I'm going to teach you how to play. I'm just going to tell you about some of the most powerful Pokemon in the game. So the number one Pokemon that I want to talk about, debatably may be the most powerful Pokemon in general, is Ghastly. Now, a lot of people might not think that Ghastly is one of the most powerful Pokemon in this game, but he literally is. If you're looking to win your games outright, quickly, cheaply, and easily, Ghastly can do it, because he has a special ability, Gastros Form. This Pokemon can't be surrounded by opponent's Pokemon, meaning you can't put a Pokemon in front of it and behind it and kill it. And it cannot surround Pokemon themselves, so neither can a Ghastly. But also, this Pokemon can move through any Pokemon when it's moving. So basically, Ghastly can jump over one piece. Ghastly will deliver you a win in 2 turns every single game if your opponent is not paying attention to them. Ghastly is one of the strongest Pokemon, but an easy way to counter him is to use Kirlia, or I'm not really sure what this is called. It's basically Gardevoir's second form, or any, I think, of the Gardevoir line. I believe they all have this ability, but I haven't seen a Rolts yet, so I don't know. But it has a move called Ghost Sensor as a special ability. Your opponent's Pokemon cannot slip past this Pokemon using the effects of Infiltrator, Shadow, or Gastrous Form. Gastrous Form speaks directly to Ghastly. Infiltrator speaks more to Pokemon like Shuppet, and I'm not sure who uses Shadow, but basically you can't hop over this Pokemon, and you can use this Pokemon as a wall. Now, I don't recommend you use this Pokemon as a wall solely and expect it to hold out that Ghastly, because Ghastly still has a pretty decent attack. He can attack and do Destiny Bond and take your opponent out with him. And then he has like Scratch. Well, that's not gonna do anything. Or some other attack that's like 10, Lick or something, and he gets wrecked every time. But Destiny Bond will take your opponent out, so you gotta be careful with that move. also, I would recommend putting the Pokemon that has Ghost Sensor, if you have a different Pokemon, or or maybe you just got this one, right on top of your own space. If you put that on top of your own space, Ghost Pokemon can't surround to knock her out anyway, and then also they can't jump over to get potential attacks on other Pokemon and use Destiny Bond or other things. So it's just a good move to use her to block off stuff. But mainly when you see a Ghastly coming, the first thing you want to do is try to kill it. And it's okay to take a Ghastly Destiny Bond 1-to-1 exchange and die. But I think that it's really important that you protect yourself against Ghastly. Now, another thing I want to tell you guys about are instant kill moves, okay? In this game, there's a lot of Pokemon with high attacks. There's a lot of Pokemon that, attacks over the 100, Pokemons with multiples on their attacks. We want an instant kill move, and it's really awesome because if you have a Pokemon called Magmortar, you can use Flame Gun. It's a 2-star purple attack. If you have a purple attack, it can go over any white attack, and if you have 2 stars, it can go over any 1-star purple attack. Watch out for Pokemon like Jolteon with Quick Attack that could quickly defeat any Pokemon with a purple move. If you have a purple move, purple moves are defeated by yellow moves. So the cool thing about Magmortar's Flame Gun is it will knock out any Pokemon it touches, and if there's a Pokemon directly behind it, it will knock that Pokemon out as well. You can potentially get a 2-for-1, okay? So with a 2-for-1 with Magmortar, you give an instant kill, you can wipe an entire line, and if you got Ghastlies, you can jump over your own Magmortar for victory. It is absolutely disgusting to use Magmortar. Now, I think that's what I really wanted to talk about. Oh, and we need to talk about something very important. Let's talk about leveling up, okay? You need to level up your characters. The max level you can get on your figurine is 5, and every time you level up, you can expand the dimension of your wheel. Now, I've leveled up this Dedenne for my electric deck, my Zap Power deck. If you was on the stream, you know what's up with that. Now, for these Dedennes, they have 0 miss factor, okay? They have 24 tackle, 24 for a nuzzle, 28 for another nuzzle, and 24 dodge. 9 times out of 10, these Dedennes are gonna hit you with the nuzzle. If they hit you with the nuzzle, you're gonna be paralyzed. Jolteon's gonna hop right over you. Jolteon's ability is similar to Ghastly's ability, but Jolteon can only hop over paralyzed Pokemon, which is why we use Dedennes, who can move 3 spaces and also be paralyzed by nuzzle if you kill it. So obviously Dedenne is gonna be attacking the opponent. And every now and again, the opponent hits a whiff and hits miss, and I can attack them directly with tackle, so that's even better. But I want to talk about maxing out the characters, because maxing out the characters is extremely important. Of course, you need money to do this, spare Pokemon, and you go to the Fusion tab to max it out. But you want to make sure that you can max out the appropriate tiles for your strategy. So let me go back and show you my actual deck. So we can talk about my deck that I use, my main deck number 1, and then I have 2 other decks that I might give a more breakdown in separate videos. But let's talk about my main deck 1. Alright guys, based on the figures I have, I created the best deck that I could. Now, I think that this deck is really good for a lot of different reasons, but I mean, for obvious reasons, we're gonna just talk about it, and I'm gonna walk you through the strategy of this deck, okay? This deck gets a lot of easy wins online. Like, there's literally nothing my opponent can do when they come up against this deck. So let me show you or tell you exactly how this works. So we have the 2 Ghastlies. Obviously, Ghastly are our first line infiltrators. If my opponent is smart enough or has the right cards or the right Pokemon to stop Ghastly, then I have to change up my strategy. Swapping out from Ghastlies, if they were either knocked out or Destiny Bound was used on them, resources was burned on Ghastly. Ghastly is a threat to make my opponent exhaust as many resources as possible. If I can get them to wipe out their entire arsenal of slate cards, or maybe waste 2 strong Pokemon on Ghastly to try to guarantee hits, Ghastly has done his job, okay? Now, after Ghastly's done his job and basically caused confusion and chaos, I have 2 Pokemon that come in afterwards to clean things up, okay? So my 2 cleanup Pokemon are Magmortar and Vaporeon. Now, Magmortar, of course, the biggest use is Flame Gun. When I'm developing his arc, as he's leveling up, I'm leveling up and expanding my Flame Gun. I want to get as many instant kills, 2-for-1 kills as possible, because with Magmortar's Flame Gun, you're gonna get in there every single time and destroy your opponent. Also, I have Vaporeon. Now, of course, as Magmortar clears lines, Vaporeon actually has a move called Water Slide, which of course I am expanding upon with as much experience as I can as it becomes available in this game. We use Vaporeon to push an opponent back 1 tile, and it gives the opponent weight. It's the perfect Pokemon to push your opponent off of their goal and to defeat them easily. Most of the time after you push them off their goal, they have no means of getting back in the goal, because now the goal is blocked on both sides by Vaporeon and the opponent's Pokemon that was just pushed. Sometimes they don't have a ghost Pokemon to jump over and get back into space, but even if they did, Vaporeon's strong enough to take him down. So Vaporeon is my round 2 strategy. Now, let's say for some reason I have bad luck, or Vaporeon and Magmortar are defeated. My final level of resistance, my final combo before everything recycles and starts all over again, is my Weezing and Machamp combo. Now, what Weezing does is very interesting. He has 40 base attack on a move called Sludge Bomb, but if Sludge Bomb doesn't defeat the opponent and Weezing is actually defeated, when he dies, he poisons everyone on the line that he's on. And the main person I want to get poisoned is Machamp, because when Machamp is poisoned, paralyzed, or any other status effect, he gets an extra 50 attack to all his attacks. But if he's poisoned, he automatically gets -20. So that would give him just a 30-point boost. But you also got to remember your opponent is lowered by 20 points as well. So technically, you don't lose any attack. You basically keep your attack plus 50. And that makes Machamp with poison swinging at a Pokemon just straight up 110. 110 is enough to knock out anything in this game, just about, minus boosters. And if he's swinging and he happens to be paralyzed, he'll lose a space. He'll more than likely lose his dodge, and he'll still have 2 attacks that hit for 50, meaning 100, and 1 attack that hits for 130 on 50% of his wheel. So that makes Machamp really strong against any type of deck that's using status effects or combined with Weezing. Now, let's say Machamp and Weezing are defeated, handsome. By this time, I would have restored both Ghastlys and potentially have Magmortar and Vaporeon still on the board. If that's the case, I go back to the same strategy of ambushing with Ghastly, making a race to their goal.
It's time to duel!
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys are enjoying Pokemon Duels. If you enjoy Pokemon Duel content, check out my live stream. I duel online all the time, and I want to play with you guys. So until the next one, like what you saw, click right down below to get it expanded.